Yeah, so get this. Episode 10, Life Lessons with yours truly and the Bald Wonder. um, he says to me just before I push the button, it's your show. It's our show. And then he does this. You need
Well,
money.
somebody's making money off this.
Somebody's making money off this. We're just doing it because it's fun.
Actually, I get to do something just because it's fun? Wow.
So you're telling me that everything in your life has a price.
Everything has a value.
A price, money.
Value. If you don't think what you have is valuable,
I know what I have is valuable,
Well, then
but I also know that life is not fair.
I can't do that because my microphone's too.
My dad would say to me, "What are you going to cry, boy?" No, Dad, I'm not going to cry. Life is not fair. That's what I've learned in my life. And I know you have too at times.
George used to say to me, my old friend George Roseland, "Hey, you got your big boy pants on?
That's right.
Then let's wear them then."
That's right. I'll take the blow, boxing analogy. I'll get knocked down, but I'm going to get back up. What about you? Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Wonderful.
I think about it.
You let the referee count to 9, then you might get up.
Count of 9, I'll be up. Hey.
Let me ask you this in all sincerity. Does everything have to have money? You got to, for your services?
There's only a couple of ways you can value something.
You've told me you've done things because you feel guilty and you feel bad. So you don't have to
Oh,
be
no.
reversed, do you?
No. I did things for nothing because I got so much value in exchange for other things.
Right. Things that money cannot buy.
Well, money helped, but I enjoyed doing them, and I enjoyed the people I worked with. I never charged anything for emceeing or being a part of a fundraising.
You've seen a million times.
Yeah.
Right.
I like to think I had a hand in curing every disease
said that before.
that was ever.
So I put out an email at the end of the school year this time last year saying, listen, to various schools, superintendents, if you need somebody to come in to give a motivational speech to talk about the real world, I'm available. Nothing. Because I don't have the machine, as I've talked about before. I don't have a website. I've just got 48 years of experience around the country, and I'm a spontaneous speaker. I don't really have to prepare. I just know. I can feel the pulse of the room. No one's emailed me back, and I'm like, man, people are missing it.
All right, be sure and listen to this episode because here's some truth coming up.
It is the truth.
No, here's some more.
All right.
You tell me what your strongest points in your career were. And then I'll tell you why I don't.
Strongest points in my career
Yes.
were the simple fact that I didn't give up, and I'm not giving up. My career, my life did not go as planned. Now, a lot of people will tell you that. How many people live a life of quiet desperation, Dave? How many people will do one thing? And I tell this to the students. This would be part of my presentation. They're making more money. They got bigger cars. They go on vacations. But how many people deep inside are not really doing what they set out to do, what their interests are? I'm not one of those people. Now, when I got in broadcasting, I didn't get in it for the money. My wife, Joan, will tell you that. I got in it for love of the game. I loved it. I wasn't dying to be on TV. I was dying to talk about sports. The money was an afterthought, and it still is. So that's the essence of me, is the fact that, yeah, I've been knocked down a lot, much more in my career than you. But I'm still standing, and I'm still going, and I still believe. That is the essence of me.
Do you like apples?
Of course I like apples.
Do you like all kinds of apples?
You're setting me up. I
No.
like green apples. God didn't make little green apples.
Little granny green
Yes,
apples?
yes.
I was going to ask you, if you tried a new apple and you didn't like it, whose fault is that you didn't like it? Is it the apple's fault or is it your fault?
It's my fault.
Okay. If you try something
And
and
see, I take ownership.
if you try something and work as hard as you possibly can at it,
And that's all that matters.
and it doesn't But then it doesn't work the way
But that's all that matters to me.
other people
Right,
construct working.
right, right.
If it doesn't work, is that your fault or is that the job's fault?
It's nobody's fault because I've done the best I can.
That's all you can do.
And that's all. And I get all that. Trust me, I get all that. No one's worked
Well,
harder than me.
then
No
you
one's
have to
tried
just
me.
take a deep breath
I try to.
and hope that everybody is right and there'll be another life for you.
Well, I believe there will be.
Okay, and then you can try again and be something else.
As you and I have talked before, my life's not over. I'm still going. And one of these days, I always say when it comes to speaking, all it takes is one. That's how confident I am. If one person says, yeah, you can come talk, or you can, it's over because I just believe in my ability that much. Now, when it comes to television, when you used to send reels out and tapes or whatever, you're not the flavor of the month. You're not the flavor of choice for some people. People aren't going to like you necessarily, but there are other areas like when I go audition for plays, I always walk out of an audition saying, well, that's the best I could do. Maybe it wasn't right, but they don't know what they could have had because no one's going to outwork me and no one cares more than me.
You always say
That and a nickel get you a cup of coffee.
your response to not being picked is your loss.
Yes.
Okay, well that's a lot of people's
And I
response.
still believe. I always believe. See, you hit vein. That's why I'm going off. But
I absolutely think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
so when I used to see you guys out in the field and television, there was a bit of jealousy. I'll admit it because you guys had the viewership. You guys were well liked among them. And little old itty bitty KPTM, a little, I'm a very competitive
Why
guy.
don't you ask me what I'm doing now?
What do you? Well, I know what you're doing now.
What?
You're reading a book.
And
You're going to Shirley's.
this,
Hopefully, you're doing more because I told you you're not. It's not over for you.
but nothing lasts forever. You know, I had a wonderful relationship with Channel 6.
Yeah, but you still miss it. You tell me you yearn for it. Kids don't know who. I'm like, move on. You've told me that.
I know, but I probably yearn for the rewards of the job too as much.
No, I don't know if it. Well, see, that's the point. For me, I just did the job for love of the game. And what have I said to you lately? Now I yearn for maybe a little bit more recognition because I didn't get it, because I didn't care.
That's a complicated
But as you
word.
get older, at least as I get older, I feel like, you know,
That's a complicated thing. Honest to God, it is.
well,
And
that's
I'm
why you and I are good together because you, not even trying, you have achieved certain success and reached certain heights. Me, totally aware, trying goals, no. So that's why we're a good complement to each other because you have, in some way, shape, or form, gotten to where I wanted to get. And
what's the difference between success
what are we? Is this a
in this
therapy session?
kind of what is the difference in your mind between success and failure in our business? What is it? Is it how successful you are? Is it how successful other people
It's
think
reaching
you are?
one's potential. It's fulfilling my potential. I wanted to host the Olympic Games because I believe that my knowledge and love of sport is different than everyone else's. The lens that I view sport in is different than everyone else.
But you know there's a
So
million
I always felt that I could, and I'm a good storyteller. Jim McKay was my idol.
there's a million guys out
No, there's not. No,
Who's-
there's not.
who love sports.
But they cannot communicate it or relate it in a way that the common man and people would understand.
Can you make people cry when you talk?
Yes,
Can you make them laugh?
I'd like to think I can, but I don't want to have to think about it because when you think, it's just automatic. It's
Well,
like acting.
You
just
have
don't
sad
think.
stories. You have sad stories. When you tell a sad story about yourself or something else, do you evoke emotions from people?
Yes, but it has to be spontaneous. It can't just be thought out because I have, like you, so much stored in my head. I think sometimes you and I have forgotten more about sports or just love of the game.
I've
If you know what
forgotten
I mean.
everything.
No, I mean you've hit a vein. But that's why at my age, I'm not relenting. I'm not giving in.
But there's so many people in the world that know so much more
That doesn't matter
sports than I
who
do.
you are, but you should know how to relate it. You should know how to compare it. You should know how to make people feel it, see it. It's like the writers, it's like the broadcasters now who rip athletes, but yet they've never met them in the locker room.
How about the athletes who just rip the world?
I know. Well,
I don't think I'd go up to them and put a mic in their
I
face.
think they're like movie stars too, who think that their political views and their views, etc., would be bought by people listening to them. I don't care what you think about this. Just do your thing. Hit 300 for me. I don't care what you say about the political scene today. Just, I liked you in that movie. But we all get, at times, fuller than ourselves and think we're bigger than what we are. So we espouse all these beliefs, and they're really not.
This is tough because this is secret feelings that I've had all my life about sports and stuff.
Right?
I love sports. I love the idea of
Competition.
particularly baseball.
The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena.
No, I love the characters in baseball.
Right.
I loved Stan Musial. Meeting Stan Musial was one of the great days in my life.
Mr. Corkscrew.
Meeting Sandy Koufax
That's
was one of
right.
the great days of my
Would
life.
not pitch on the Sabbath.
Yeah, but there are athletes who are excellent athletes that I wouldn't hold a mic in front of for
Well, I remember, who was it? Albert Bell.
Oh,
He's not in the Hall of Fame because he was an a-hole to the press.
he was an a-hole to everybody.
Right.
Well, for every
And guess
action,
who votes for the Hall of Fame baseball? The writers.
for every action there is a reaction.
That's right. So yours truly has tried, even though I'm letting it out here, I've tried to stay somewhat humble, somewhat under the radar. I worked the College World Series for 13 years, handheld every game, shooting the stadium host. Humble. That's cool. It's okay. And sometimes the host would ask me, what should I say? Or what do you think? And I'd give him some ideas, even though I knew in my heart that I could do that job. There's other instances.
That would have to be tough,
I'd like to think that I'm humble.
knowing that you're better than the person doing the job.
No, I'm not saying I was better.
You can do it better.
I when I go to theater auditions, I try to stay humble. I try to encourage others that are auditioning. And then guess what happens? I don't get the part.
So what did these
I
other
try to
people
stay
do?
humble, even though I yearn for a little more recognition.
What did these other people do that made them get the part that you didn't do?
Oh, I don't know. Just in life, I just think that you and I know there's so much that plays into success in life.
But
it's who you know, it's what you look like, it's being at the right spot at the right time.
That's all true.
Different things that come into it, just like theater, just like broadcasting. Who's taped? What used to be tapes, remember? Is it sitting on this guy's desk? Did the right guy look at it at the right time? There's so much more that plays into it. But I also say that once you get to where you want to go, or people think that you're there, then you got to do it.
But it's also you're putting your value on someone else to find that value.
It's
and
like
if they
it's like figure skating.
If they don't find it,
right,
it's not your fault. It's
right.
their fault.
Well, I know that, but still, I'm allowed to be angry. I'm allowed to be disappointed, because I do think in some cases, because of my age, I might be a little bit more well versed, if you will, than the people looking at my work.
Oh, I think you are.
Yeah. So
it's kind of like the Nancy Kerrigan ice skating thing.
Right. Perception, reality.
Who became more famous?
Tonya Harding.
Yeah, the one that did that horrible thing. And
right.
And her boyfriend did the horrible thing.
So as we sit here, I look at you and I'm like, here's the guy that's done it, and here's the guy who hasn't done it. And I told you, it depends on the day, but I still yearn. I'm still competing, because to me it's the scoreboard. I'm sorry, but that's the way I am. It's winning and losing. Oh yeah, but you gave it a good try. Yeah, that's great, but I lost. That's how I am.
It's a line from Seinfeld,
No.
Yeah.
I never watched Seinfeld. Can you believe it?
George was George said to Jerry, I think it was Jerry he was talking to, do you find yourself being attracted to someone? Yes. Oh, yeah, of course. Deeply attracted to them? Yeah. Do you ever yearn for somebody?
Yeah.
I had never used that. I've never heard that word used on television
That's our
before.
word for the day.
Yearn. But that's the truth. You yearn for them.
Yeah.
And that's all those feelings wrapped up into one emotion. But it's not their emotion, it's your emotion.
Right.
So what can you control? You can't even control your emotions. I can't. I get
No.
my daughter has a problem with me going to my granddaughter's volleyball games because I get angry when the team doesn't play the game the way it should be played. And I don't mean anything other than this should be a defensive. You know what this person is going to do serving the ball. You should have a defense on the other side with your team that understands that and moves players around.
Right.
And so I yell, and Marcy says, my daughter says, Dad, their parents are sitting out here with you. Don't make them feel bad. I said, not making them feel bad. That's what I've always been. That's what I did at Husker football games. I almost got in a fight up in the photo deck because somebody said something bad about
But see, you're a member of the press. You're supposed to be unbiased. You're supposed to be in the middle.
Mm,
And you?
yeah, I can feel, I can express that on the air, but I can't feel it inside. You know what I mean? When I'm inside me, I'm saying, don't field that punt, let it bounce, let it go into the end zone. No, you fielded it and
deck.
you dropped it.
So what happened on the photo deck?
We came close to blows.
Because you let it out.
Because I did, yeah. I did. He was laughing at the Huskers.
How did you feel afterwards when you're in the car driving back?
Vindicated. That's one of the first times I ever did that. I was ever angry enough to say something to somebody. You know, I let stuff bounce off me.
Right.
No big deal. But I was in an emotional mood anyway because of the Huskers in the game, and it was Nebraska. It was Memorial Stadium's photo deck.
As we talked about it, we've seen what you're human.
Yeah,
human.
yeah.
Right.
Both of us are.
The tunnel walk, I used to cry.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because I thought of my dead father who died in '96, and I think, Dad, if with 96,000 people in the tunnel walk, I used to think, God, Dad, if you could only see me now. And I would cry because it was such an emotional experience. My eyes would well up. Right? It's a religious experience.
I've said that about my dad. And you know what my dad said? Hey, I got to go to work.
Well, both our dads.
Have fun.
Well, I can remember calling my dad from college looking for some money, and he said, good luck.
Go get him, Tiger.
Right.
Dad's
Right.
phrase for me.
That's okay.
Sure it is.
My thing is, my wife will tell you, everybody's different. We're all different.
You can only influence people in certain ways.
Correct.
You can't desperately want a reaction from them and get it.
How many times? Remember Ed from Hayes? He's gone now.
Oh, Ed.
He would always ask about the rankings, and we'd always just kind of sit there and go, we miss you, Ed. I can still remember Ed at Texas A&M. The Husker David Horn scored 3 touchdowns. I was there, and Ed, in the midst of all the chaos at the end of the game, Ed is taking off his shirt and putting on another stand-ups.
Eddie. But what kind of belt have you got? Cardboard. Yeah. That's nice. No, Where'd you get that?
But at the Husker Pressers, I used to say to people, don't go in straight ahead. Go in through the side door, if that makes sense to you. That's how you're going to emit a response. And on a rare occasion, guys used to come up to me and say, how did you get Bo to say that? Or how did you? And because I'm human.
Is there something going between us with Bo Pelini?
No.
Because he said something at the news conference.
When he got hired.
One of his very first news conferences.
Right.
He said he's going to change the attitude of this team. And when he does, the team will become better. And I said, I said, how will you know when the team has turned the corner? What will you see that they do that's it's different? And he says, I won't see it. You will. And I said, ooh, that's a good answer. Little did I know that that was a practiced answer. It didn't mean what I thought it would mean.
Right. Because you interpreted it a different way.
I thought he really truly meant that I would see a difference in the team.
Right.
He wouldn't need to see it. I'll see it.
All right.
I said, and I yelled out, anybody use that bite other than me?
Soundbite.
Yeah, sound bite. Other than me, because I asked the question. That's my answer. I was so proud of it.
Well,
And what did it turn out to be true?
yeah.
Yeah.
I specifically, when I scrambled down before the shows in the Hawks Center, and everybody would get around, we're all sitting there like, nervously. You can't cross that imaginative line. And then when he would come over, we'd all slowly, like a bunch of sheep, go over to him. And I used to try to get there fast, and I know that ticked people off too. But I didn't want to get the ear hole. I wanted to get the front. And I always used to say, because I don't have a photog, because people can't see me there, because, it's TV, you got to do all that bullshit. I'm going to ask a question, and I might use it when we get back, simply so people can hear me ask the question. Another story. Bill Callahan, remember Billy C?
Maybe that's the one I was thinking.
Yeah. His introductory press conference. I'm there, and of course, remember the 6'4", it's packed, it's overflowing. All kind of boosters are there, hangers on, people that know they're all there, aside from the press, which used to annoy me a little bit. I'm there shooting cutaways while Jeff Radcliffe, my partner, my teammate, he's there on sticks shooting the interview. So I'm walking around the room. I'm working the room shooting cutaways and stuff. I asked one question from the middle of the room. I said to Bill Callahan, do you understand what this football team means to this state? We get done. I don't know if you remember this, but I said F on the air. You don't know this. I said F on the air. It's a long story. I said F on the air Monday. I got fired Wednesday. I got my job back Friday. It's a long story. But I had people email in support. The mayor, Fahey, Chris Anderson, who was then the SID, remember at Nebraska? Remember, Chris?
What did you say? F the word?
It's a long story. But anyway, Chris Anderson says when Bill Callahan left that presser that day, the only person who he asked, who was that guy, was you. I asked one question, but he remembered my question.
For you.
For what?
The fact that he was a jerk from Chicago.
Yeah, but for whatever it's worth.
I didn't like him at all. In fact, he might have been the one that said that, not Polina.
That's okay. But you get my drift. But there's always a way. Yeah, there's always a way. Yeah.
A way to what? To be memorable?
No, I wasn't trying to be memorable. I was just asking an honest question from the heart, because you and I were more in tune with the state of Nebraska and what the football team meant to the people emotionally. It's ingrained in them. It's part of their blood. And this guy comes in because he had success in the NFL. And most people didn't think he got it. And now in the end, I don't think he did get it. So I was trying to help him to see if he understood it. And I don't think he did.
Well, how many coaches do you think actually understood that?
Other than
Start with
T.O.?
Devaney.
Devaney and T.O.
And Solich.
And Frankie.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And that's where it ended.
That's it.
No more assistants getting the job.
No. And yeah.
That's it. That's nobody's fault. That's just the end of an era, kind of. Where you think homegrown talent for the football team? How about homegrown talent for the coaching staff too?
Emotionally all connected in a way that they're all connected to the same vision, to the same thing. And now, I agree.
Well, then now you
I
can't.
also think the game has changed.
Oh, I was going to say
No longer the triple option of the wishbone. It's changed.
you can't compare anything to
No,
today.
no, you can't.
So I'm saying to myself, I've been gone 17 years. Than I was last time I was going to a game as a
Right.
sportscaster, and I don't. The kids are. I don't get to know the kids like I used to,
No.
but I can't imagine anything worse than the bites that I see on TV now from athletes. It just makes me sick to be
But we
connected with
also know that we could come back with a 5-minute interview and we're taking 15 seconds. I'm not saying we take them out of context, but we choose the answers that we want. So
Maybe
in
it's
some cases, we don't know the whole story.
maybe it's always been the athlete, me, and that's me. That's the only thing I care about. Maybe that's always been the way, but there have been guys who have broken that mold.
Right,
Burkhead,
right.
one of the nicest, finest running backs I ever met in my entire life.
He was class.
I would take him every year, another Rex Burkhead.
But see, here's the thing. We got minute 37 for this show. Kids, athletes, have grown up their whole lives being told how wonderful they are, special training. They have their own coaches,
Yeah, I know.
AAU teams, travel squads. So they're constantly being showered with praise. So what do you expect? Me. They're so used to hearing it. Me.
Yeah.
When we get letters, like there's a job opening at Iowa Western. So I've seen some of the letters kids write, and it's I. I'm like, it shouldn't be that way. I have a letter that I sent to ABC Sports in 1979, and I got the job with ABC Sports. I lived in Manhattan for a year, and I've got my letter still, and I compared Johnny Unitas, and I didn't say I. I talked about ABC Sports at the time was the leader in sports television, not ESPN, and I really brought it all together as a team, what we could do, what it means, what ABC Sports means to the world. And I talked about Johnny Unitas, and I still have it. I'm proud of that. It got me the job. But anyway, that's it. We got 20 seconds.
19, 18, 17.
10. Episode 10. JJ, Dave, the legend, the journeyman. I hope we shed some light on stuff. Any final comments real quick?
Bye.
Yeah, he's got to go now read a book for 6 or 7 hours. See you next time.